Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have deconstructed my usual YouTube setup here. I'm literally holding the microphone in my hands for the first time. Typically when I turn the camera around to face me, I notice that the audio comes out really kind of quiet, and I want you to be able to hear me clearly in this video, so I decided to pull it off of my tripod and just hold it, so hopefully this works out. I really wanted to make this quick video for my regular viewers because many of you know that my family and I, we went away to London for a week and we recently got back, and since then I've been getting some questions about whether or not I did luxury shopping. If you watched my recent London vlog video, you'll know that I went to Harrods and also some other shops, and I shared clips from those visits in that vlog video, so if you did miss it, I'll link it up above. But I did not purchase anything, so I just wanted to kind of announce that I do not have a luxury haul or unboxing of any kind coming from my London trip. In fact, I don't think I've ever used the word haul to describe my shopping or my shopping style. I don't intend to in the future. It's just not the way I shop. If I do show you 2 or 3 items that I've purchased, it usually means that I have painstakingly thought about them for a while before purchasing them, but typically it will be one item at a time, and even at that time I probably spent a lot of time thinking about them. So I am really trying to be really mindful and thoughtful about my luxury purchases in particular, but all purchases of course. And I don't have an unboxing, so I hope that you're not too disappointed. I want to explain why there's no unboxing. First reason is because I did share with you all that I'm feeling really content and really abundant and really grateful for everything that I have. Right there behind me, that little door handle leads to my small walk-in closet. It is a small walk-in closet because we live in Manhattan and all closets are pretty small here, but it is a perfect size for me. It fits everything that I need, my whole wardrobe and all of my excessive handbags, so I'm not complaining. But in there is a lot of handbags for me. I counted and I have a little less than 20, but a little more than 18 luxury handbags. So what does that make it? I'm being annoying, I know. 19 luxury handbags, and when I say luxury, I'm just qualifying luxury as anything over $1,000, regardless of brand. So for example, I have like a Coach handbag that I love and I use it regularly, but it was nowhere near the $1,000 mark. So even though that's considered a designer brand, I wouldn't consider it in the luxury category, just for the purposes of how I'm sort of calculating, if that makes sense. So my point is, I have plenty of bags that I really enjoy and am using. 19 luxury bags is more than I ever thought I would ever want or need, but somehow I've accumulated that much over the years, and so I'm really focusing on enjoying them and making use of them. And you know, these are practical items, so I don't want them to just sit in my closet, right? You guys know how I am about letting go of items that I don't make use of, because I'm not really a true collector in the sense. If I'm not using an item, whether it be a handbag, clothes, shoes, I do tend to let it go. The second reason is because I did share with you that I am no longer going to be purchasing any Chanel bags. If you missed that video, it was pretty, a lot of people watched it, a lot of people commented on it. It was a little controversial, but also very popular, and I think it resonated with many of you. I will link that up above as well. In that video, if you watched it, you'll remember that I talked about how I have plenty of Chanel bags, and even though I really adore the brand and have had kind of this admiration for the brand for many years, I'm now at a point where I have plenty of bags from Chanel and I don't feel the need at all to purchase any more, especially Chanel classic flap bags. And my daughter is standing over here. She's going to hand me my latest Chanel bag that I purchased, and I know some of you don't really believe like YouTubers when we say we're not buying anymore, but after I purchased this one here, the beige Claire classic flap in the boutique, I said I'm probably not going to buy any more classic flaps, and I'm probably not going to buy any more Chanel bags in general. And I have basically committed to my word, and so far I haven't been tempted to purchase anything, and I haven't purchased anything from Chanel in terms of handbags. I did pick up some shoes and sneakers, but that's a whole nother story, right? So definitely nothing from Chanel. I know a lot of you were asking, especially because Chanel is cheaper in Europe. A lot of the designer brands are cheaper in Europe, but I really wasn't looking to purchase anything from Chanel. I also wasn't looking to purchase anything from the other brands, namely because when I am on vacation with my family, it's just really time for us to soak in, the sights and make memories and take photos and have fun and eat out and enjoy, versus me dragging my poor husband and kids through lots of different shops while they wait for me to try things out for hours and hours and they get exhausted. It's not fun for them, and then I wind up feeling like it wasn't worth it, or I feel guilty. So I learned that lesson long time ago. So the trip to Harrods was really quick. It was probably like 30 minutes. And then the shops that I went to, like Gucci, Saint Laurent, Burberry, they were actually inside the Heathrow airport. I didn't even bother taking any footage. I just kind of quickly roamed through just for some eye candy, and my kids were eating at the airport at the time, so they weren't really bothered with it because I just made my rounds and then I came back to meet them. So that's another reason. If I'm traveling by myself or with friends, I might be more inclined to do more shopping, but definitely not when it's family time. The other reason why I am not showing you an unboxing from my trip is because I really am kind of sick of the same old. I still, please don't get me wrong, I still really enjoy the luxury designers, but I'm also really curious about experimenting and checking out lesser known brands and different brands. And I've talked about this before, and I've even done a video on designer alternatives. If you missed it, I'll link that. And I want to just kind of branch out a bit more. So even though I enjoy the eye candy from places like Chanel and Louis Vuitton and all those other designers, and I still will look because it's fun, I am really practicing the art of admiring from afar, and I've talked about that before in previous videos. Really just enjoying the beauty of things. If something is aesthetically beautiful, I can enjoy it without purchasing it, without having to spend my hard-earned money on it just to own it, to have it, because I already have plenty of bags that I already love and enjoy, if that makes sense. So it's sort of circular, but I wanted to explain myself because, like I said, I do think that having a luxury YouTube channel leads to assumptions that when you go abroad to places like Europe, you're definitely going to come back with some kind of haul or at least some unboxing, and that's not something that I want you to expect here, because it's usually not how I am when I'm traveling with my family. And we travel a lot, you guys know that. We travel several times a year. Last year we traveled like over 40 days out of the year, and I don't like to really shop when I'm with my family, unless we're shopping with purpose and we're looking for items specifically for my husband, myself, and my kids, and it's kind of like a family affair, if that makes sense. Let me know if you're a mom, if this resonates with you. Also, just selfishly, I enjoy shopping when I have ample time and not a lot of pressure. So if I have my kids saying that they're tired or hot or hungry, or my husband is, getting like impatient, I don't enjoy the process. And shopping is supposed to be enjoyable. It shouldn't feel like a chore to anyone involved. So let me know if this resonates with anyone. Comment down below so I don't feel alone. Okay, but I don't want you to think that I'm like a complete dud. We went abroad, we had a wonderful time, and yeah, I bought a few things, but nothing major, nothing luxury, and mostly for other people. So at Harrods, we looked at the gift section, and I picked up a few of these. These are just like tea biscuits, right? Very English. So we're actually going to go see my brother-in-law and sister-in-law tomorrow. So I'm going to bring a box for them. And then I have a few for friends. And then I also picked up this one. I'm like a really big tea drinker, if you guys didn't know. And I always put honey in my tea. And this is some kind of like some kind of floral honey from Harrods, but it sounded really cool. So the back, I'll read it to you. It said, London honey collected from hives located in parks and on rooftops around London. This fragrant floral honey showcases the complex flavors of the capital's green spaces. So anyway, I thought it was kind of cool and unique. So I got a few jars of these. I was really lucky that the airport security allowed these through from London to New York. I didn't check any bags and they allowed them in the carry-on. They just pulled them out, checked on them, and then did some kind of like scan test. And then they let me bring them all through, even though they're clearly over 4 fluid ounces. And then, of course, being a big tea fan, we had to go to Fortnum and Mason, and we did afternoon tea there. And even in New York, we do afternoon tea, but it's just a whole nother experience doing it in London. It was really nice. Everybody liked it. And so there at the gift shop, we got this set of teas, all like different kind of green teas. So I bought a few of these to give out to family and friends as well. So those were kind of like the gifts or the souvenirs for others that we picked up. And then for myself, I got 3 things, and I'll show you. Okay, the first is a book. In fact, I'll just spoil it. They're all books, 3 books. You guys know I am a huge bookworm. I love reading so much. It's like my favorite hobby and thing to do. And this book here, I read the entire thing. It's not that big, actually. I read the whole book on the way back from London in the airplane. So that's how good it was. It was a page turner. If you are a mom, specifically a working mom, this will really resonate with you. I feel like every word just popped out, and I don't know, it just really stood out as being like a very real, raw book. You guys know, if you're real handbag lovers, Anya is a handbag designer. She's famous. So she gets really personal in this book. Even if you're not a mom, if you're just like a working woman in the world, I think this book will be, I don't know, I think it'll be an enjoyable read. I highly recommend it. And then the other book that I got, I haven't read it yet, is by a Korean author. And I heard like lots of people talking about how good this book was, even the clerk behind the register at the bookshop. And it's called Please Look After Mother. So I'm really excited to start reading this one. It's kind of like, I think it's going to be pretty emotional and raw. And then the last book that I got is from Nora Ephron, and this one's supposed to be pretty popular. And what does it say? I feel bad about my neck. So this is kind of, I feel like it's going to resonate with people like my age. You guys know I'm in my early 40s, and it's sort of like midlife type of womanhood. I haven't started it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll link all 3 books down below in my description box if you're interested, if you're also into reading. I love reading all kinds of books, and these 3 really jumped out at me at the bookshops. I will say that the book selection in the bookshops, both in London and also in the Cotswolds, because we spent some time out there, were just a little different, more, I don't know, they were curated in a different way than here in New York. And I found the book titles to be really catchy and witty. And, you know, there's British humor. I love dry, sarcastic humor. So British wit is something that like always, I don't know, I just love it. And so I think some of the books that I saw at these bookshops wouldn't have caught my eye as much in the New York bookshops because of the way they display differently and curate differently, if that makes sense. So highly recommend those 3 books. The 2 ones, of course, the 2 I didn't read yet, I can't really recommend, but they seem really good. So if you want to read them along with me, let me know in the comments below. As for my husband, he purchased basically nothing except for candy, because we were in a cute little candy shop, such an old-fashioned, lovely candy shop in the Cotswolds, and it was in Burford. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it was so cute and so charming. And we bought like butterscotch and fruit candies and mints, and we like devoured them. So that's pretty much it. Edibles, nothing to really bring home. And then my kids also bought a few books from the bookshops, and we stopped by a library as well, and they were selling children's books for 50 pence. They were like used books, but my kids found one each that they liked, so they bought those. And that's it basically. Those are our souvenirs. We're not really big on souvenirs. Like, we're not going to buy keychains and magnets and postcards and stuff like that, because you guys know, if you've been here before, I really like to keep it simple, and I like to have a pretty simple, minimalist home without a lot of clutter. So I don't like to buy a lot of tchotchke and have to bring it back home from our travels. And like I said, we do tend to travel a lot. We've been traveling with our kids since they were infants, and if we were to collect all kinds of things from each place we visited, we would just be in a mountain of junk at the end of the day, really. And I'm not knocking those who collect souvenirs. It's just not my style. That's all. So that's what we brought back. Books. We had some candy and a few gifts for our family members and friends. That's all. Okay, with that being said, I do want to say that I am going to have some interesting, fun videos coming up soon, talking about different designer brands that I'm exploring, and also new handbag styles that have caught my attention that I'm seriously exploring. And I'm trying to decide whether I'm admiring them from afar or if I'm going to add them to my collection. And most of them are more in the affordable range, like less than $1,000. But from what I can see, really well made and just beautiful aesthetically. So I will be sharing some of those in future videos. But in my very next video, I did get a request from one of you asking to see what's in my makeup bag, what's in my cosmetic pouch. So I will show that. And there's also a big Sephora spring sale coming, so I have to refill some of my favorites. So I'll show what's in my cosmetic pouch, and I'll also show my favorites that I'm purchasing, and then maybe you'll have some ideas on what might work for you. I have a very, very minimalist skincare and makeup routine. So if you're like me and you just like to have, a small handful of items that you can rely on day after day, then it might be of interest to you. But I am by no means a makeup guru, beauty guru. I have no knowledge of how to really apply makeup or anything like that. I just purchase what works for me over and over and over again. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this explanation, this update, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.